Hello, everyone. Welcome to Reflections from the Prayer of Recollection. I have Anna with me.
Hi.
And today is March 30th, 2020. We're looking at Luke 19, 28 through 40. Do you want to read or do you want me to read?
You read.
Okay, I'll read. After telling this story, Jesus went on toward Jerusalem, walking ahead of his disciples. As he came to the towns of Bethphage and Bethany on the Mount of Olives, he sent 2 disciples ahead. Go into that village over there, he told them. As you enter it, you'll see a young donkey tied there that no one has ever ridden. Untie it and bring it here. If anyone asks, "Why are you untying that colt?" just say, "The Lord needs it." So they went and found the colt, just as Jesus had said, and sure enough, as they were untying it, the owners asked them, "Why are you untying that colt?" I lost my place. The disciples simply replied, "The Lord needs it." So they brought the colt to Jesus and threw their garments over it for him to ride on. As he rode along, the crowds spread out their garments on the road ahead of him. When they reached the place where the road started to go down to the Mount of Olives, all of his followers began to shout and sing as they walked along, praising God for all the wonderful miracles they had seen. "Blessings on the King, who comes in the name of the Lord, peace in heaven and glory in highest heaven." But some of the Pharisees among the crowd said, "Teacher, rebuke your followers for saying things like that." He replied, "If they keep quiet, the stones along the road will burst into cheers." Okay, so we're going to jump into this. First, I thought it's interesting. This is the first time that I remember Luke saying that he walked ahead of his disciples, which makes me think that he's kind of starting to set his mind and focus his mind. He's going out of the teaching mode.
Teaching is less important.
Yeah, teaching is less important. That's not the time now. It's the time to get ready for the big event now. And then about the donkey, I thought that was kind of interesting. My reaction was I would have felt wrong to have untied a donkey without permission, which I think they probably were going to return later. But maybe that's me making like a fence law that we've created that's not really a law of Jesus, is that you have to ask permission. What did you think about the donkey?
I didn't think they should have stole the donkey. I said that's stealing. Don't just take the donkey. And the owners didn't say anything about it. They weren't like, "Hey, my donkey." But we looked at the notes in the Bible, with the notes.
Commentary.
the commentary
Yes.
in the Bible, and it said that it's unclear whether they just took it or whether Jesus had prearranged for them to take it. So that seems like a possibility.
Yeah, that's a good point. So then, I think it's kind of cool. Well, one of the things we read too about the donkey was it said that a king would have typically have ridden into town on a war horse, but that Jesus rode a donkey, which would have been a peaceable and humble animal. So he rode in like a king, but he was on a donkey instead of a war horse.
And the putting the robes on the floor thing.
What about that?
That was, I think they said they do that for kings.
Oh, yeah. And then it says that they began to shout and sing as they walked along, praising God for all the wonderful miracles they had seen. And then this verse 38 that says "Blessings on the King." That part, our commentary showed us how that's part of an Old Testament, like a song or a poem or something.
They would sing on the way to Jerusalem for one of the festivals.
Mm-hmm. Although I think they changed it a little bit because it didn't say king in that one, did it?
It might have. But it is a little different.
Yeah, it was a little different. And my thought about this was that whether they knew what they were doing or not, it was like God arranged this, because the greatest event on earth, at the same time most horrible and greatest event on earth, is just about to happen, and it's like Jesus is entering like a king, and
going away to get crowned.
Going in to get crowned. He is going to get crowned. That's right. That's right. And they're singing his praises like they would a king, and saying all these wonderful things about him. Of course, they have no idea what's happening. But I think that God knew that this was like the greatest praiseworthy moment in history that needed to be celebrated, even in the irony of the pain. And the pain obviously is part of what makes it the greatest moment of history.
Can we talk about the Pharisees?
You talk about the Pharisees.
They're coming with him. They're chilling and vibing. Yeah, they're not happy.
They're not happy.
They're not happy.
I know, I'm like thinking, it's funny, it's ironic, and this seems to describe their relationship a lot, that they're walking along with him, they're right there with him, they're totally annoyed.
They're following him just to pester him, just to be mean to him.
Yeah.
Like, if you didn't like it, you could go back home.
Right. But they're always
like,
there.
Jesus, stop it!
Yeah. They're always there. Always there causing them
They're always there.
problems. And then, I just think, I really like that part that says that even the stones would cheer out if the people weren't. That God knew that this moment had to be praised, and it was going to happen.
It's time to rile people up. He has to start getting the tensions running high.
You mean getting the Pharisees mad at him and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So not only did he know
He's like, we need cheering right now.
Yeah, he knew it was right. Sorry, you can probably hear the mower. We got a mower guy outside. It's probably pretty loud.
There he goes. Oh, he's got a different pitch this time.
Do that again. Anyway, what were we saying about cheering? About the rocks cheering?
That the people need to cry out to rile out the Pharisees.
Yeah, to get the Pharisees. He keeps letting them get the Pharisees mad and all that. So, so I think it's kind of cool. I just think that this is a really beautiful story about Jesus and how the courage that he was going into this situation with, and that he knew it was a time to be praised, and he knew what he was getting ready to go into, and even though no one else did. And I'm so thankful for what he did and how he faced this situation. I praise you, Jesus.